Can you hear us? We're checking to see if you guys are able to hear us. Thumbs up. Okay, we'll make sure you heard us.
It's kind of low here. I've got it cranked up too.
Okay, give us a sec. We got to adjust something here. It's really loud on our end. Can you give us the test count real quick?
John, were you asking me that?
Affirmative.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. All right, now that my hearing is probably shot for the night, I don't know about yours. Kind of loud. All right, if everybody will stand, we'll get started. All right, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Greetings, everybody, and welcome to March meeting. First, I will say up front, my apologies for the mix-up in the first part of the month. Wasn't until we were in Georgia at the Dalton Ham Fest, and somebody sent an email saying, why is the test session on the first Wednesday and the meetings on the third Wednesday on the website? First, I'm like, oh no. And then it dawned on me, we had the fair going on at the same time. So sorry about that. I forgot about the fair going on at the first part of March and the last minute announcement about how it was actually on the 15th. So that was my fault. Didn't look at the calendar right and just totally forgot about that. So let me go around real quick with our current board members that are here. As Michael's still adjusting. I am, for those who don't know who I am John Knott, N4JTK. I'm the president of Orlando Amateur Radio Club. Michael is working on the audio. He's the vice president and Hamcation chairman. Anna is on the screen. I'll explain why Anna and Dean are there in a second. Anna is our treasurer. Bob Nacero is our secretary. Get out of the way so everybody can see him. Dean is with Anna on the screen. Then James is over here by Michael. He's one of our directors. Ed Thralls is one of our directors. Frank Gurkas, I think, is working tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Bob Cumming is one of our directors, and Frank Tagliani, he probably didn't get off work till late, so he's working on a project. Huh? Well, he's married now too, so that might be the other reason that they might be a little bit behind. So anyways, those are the current board of directors. Is anybody here a guest that's not a member of OARC already? Want to just stand up? I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Let me bring you the microphone so everybody can hear you. I apologize for the AC. The AC, I turned it off, but apparently has a mind of its own. There you go. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, Ken Schneider from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Down here for work for a couple days. I'm a general. My call sign is Kilo Charlie 8, Sierra Whiskey Yankee.
Hi, hello. My name is Trent. I'm a tech. I'm actually a member of Lamar's. Just came out here to check out the club today. Call sign is KQ4BOC, and I'm a tech right now, trying to get my general.
Congratulations and welcome. All right, new members. Anybody join tonight? Let me come around to you guys and you can introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Grayson. I do not have a call sign yet, and I only passed my test today. My what was it? Technician today, and well, there you go.
Congratulations. All right.
Hey, Nick Foster, just passed technician tonight, and I don't have a call sign yet either, like my friend.
Hello, I'm Mike Susi. I just passed my general exam tonight and my technician.
Tech and general. Congratulations. Let me come around to you on this side. Into the microphone, I'll get it.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Rich Greenwood, just a K4RJG. Been out of the hobby for about 15 years and just decided to get back into it with my son who showed an interest at the Hamfest. So as of about an hour and a half ago, I am now a general and he is a new technician.
Congratulations, everybody. Welcome to the club. Our membership chairman just walked back in the door. If anybody, as I always sit there and remind everybody, if you have not updated information with us, please do so. Tonight's kind of important, and I'm going to go over a reason why that is important here in a minute. Reason why Dean and Anna are actually on screen tonight instead of being here in person. Anna hasn't been feeling good, been running a fever, cough, sneeze, more like the sinus issues going around. Just to be safe, they wanted to join by Zoom tonight, so that's why they're here by Zoom, so they can at least be part of it since they're both board members. All right, test session, Bob. I know a couple people that have already passed, but.
Okay, tonight, we kind of got scared because we had 24 people pre-registered, but not everybody showed up. But we do have 7 new technicians tonight and 6 new generals. And some people took tests for the extra, but didn't succeed with the extra. But it was a very busy test session tonight. But now that we're doing it mechanized with tablets, we handled it very easily.
Congratulations to everybody. Sorry, I didn't mean to walk in front of the speaker. All right, so one of the things that tonight's important, nominations. There've been a couple of emails I put out about it ever since last month about nominations. This is the month that we create a slate for our elections next month. How many have not seen the email in reference to nominations, especially if you're a member for a while? Okay. So here's the thing. If you are interested in running for a board position, which we're all up for re-election, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and directors, 6 directors, then tonight, before the meeting closes, you'll need to let Bob Pollock know. There he is in the back. I knew I saw him. All right. You need to let him know tonight before the close of the meeting, when we close nominations. If there are no challenges to any of the board positions, then at the close of nominations, it's pretty much done. At next month's meeting, the secretary has to cast a vote to put everybody back into office. If there's a challenge to any position, those positions will then be up for elections next month, okay? The important part about this is, because we are spread out, and since not everybody has returned to the meetings on an in-person basis, we're still doing the electronic ballots, okay? Electronic ballots are going to go to your email address that we have on file, okay? Now, this is an email that goes out to each one of those email addresses as a group, okay? Once it's sent out, it cannot be resent, okay? So you got to really watch what happens. I will send an email out tomorrow if there's any challenges on how we're going to do the election. So if you are able to whitelist an email address, I will have that email address in the email that I send out to you guys to whitelist in your email program, so it doesn't go to your spam bucket or get blocked. Okay, it's very important because, again, once it goes out, I can't do anything to resend it. It's way we can guarantee that everybody only votes one time. Okay, there's a token in that link that when you go to the website to cast your ballot, once that link or that token is used, it cannot be used again. Okay, it will tell you if you try to click it a second time, you've already voted. okay? Another one cannot be sent to you. Again, it's a way to make sure that everybody only votes once. So it's very important every year when we've done this, people that haven't showed up to meetings and haven't read the emails we sent out telling everybody to make sure your email addresses on file is up to date. Or the instructions of black or whitelisting an email address hasn't done that, and we can't send another email out to them, just so that way there's integrity to the elections and stuff. So that's pretty much the procedure. Does anybody have any questions on what happens? We'll go into about what the qualifications are to run for an office in just a second. Any questions on the procedure? Okay. Pretty much what we've been doing since COVID started in 2020. The elections in 2020 were way late a couple of months because this was new. We had to figure out how to do this since we weren't meeting in person and stuff. So in order to, our continuity of business, we had to come up with a way of doing it. So for anybody that's interested in running for an office, first and foremost, you have to be a member in good standing with the club for at least 1 year prior to today, okay? So you would have to be already on the rosters for at least 1 year, and you have to be at least 18 years old or older to run for a position. Then there's in the email or the newsletter I sent out, actually each position is kind of the job description is explained what you do and stuff. And as I tell everybody every year, it's a working board, okay? Well, last thing that this club needs is anybody that's gonna come on to the board and just be a yes, 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 okay? Just to be on the board. We want input, we want ideas. If you don't agree with something, we wanna know about that. We don't want somebody just going, yes, yes. Anybody could do that, okay? We need input. We wanna make sure the club is running correctly. We want your thoughts. If you have ideas and thoughts and ideas on what for the club, we want to know what those are so we can implement new ideas. And we want to make sure we hear from you guys, and we want our board members to be receptive to new ideas from the membership and stuff. So it's kind of important. Did anybody not get the newsletter that's been a member? Because it went out on Sunday evening, and it was also posted to the website. So once it goes out on email, usually the weekend before a club meeting, it's also posted at the same time to the website. So all you have to do is go to under Think Club Tech, under newsletters, and you will see all the links. All the newsletters are there up to 2016 or they're all there. So you can go back and read previous newsletters if you like. Does anybody have any questions about what it takes to run for an office? All right, it's easy. Okay. So tonight, before we end the meeting, we'll put one final call out. Anybody want to run for an office? And then we're going to close nominations. And once the nominations are closed, we'll find out if there's anybody being challenged currently that's on the board or not. And if there's not, then next month, the secretary has to cast the one vote to put everybody in office for at least another 12 months. And next year we get to go through this all again. So, all right. Tour de Cure. Not this weekend, but next week, the following weekend, is the Tour de Cure. Many of you guys have been with us for a while, know what it is. It is the American Diabetes Association Tour de Cure, which is a fundraising event for the American Diabetes Association. And it's held down in Lake Nona. There are 5 different routes. There's a 10, a 25, a 50, a 63, and a 101 mile run route. Okay. The 101, if you can imagine Lake Nona, all the routes start and end at Lake Nona, but it starts at Lake Nona. It goes down through St. Cloud, down past, if you've been in the area for a long time, St. Cloud Manor, which is south of St. Cloud, all the way down to just about into Cannons Mill, which is about 30 miles south of St. Cloud. Okay. And then it turns around and comes back north, and it comes back. The 101 milers come back, and everybody kind of follows the same route back. The only difference is the 10 and the 25, it all stays within Lake Nona. It doesn't leave Lake Nona. Just the 50, the 63, and the 101. Last night we had a club, or I'm sorry, a committee meeting. Michael and I have been on the planning committee for 17 years, I think it is now, for the planning committee. And we just had the second from the last one, and we are somewhere in the area of 700 riders, 700, 800 riders. And they anticipate the last 2 weeks, there's always a push and a lot more riders will come on board. We don't know what the weather's gonna be like, obviously, but I'm always looking for people that who will volunteer be a SAG, which is called a support and gear vehicle. Basically, if you have a pickup truck, an SUV, or the ability to at least carry one bicyclist and bicycle in your vehicle, okay, whether you have a bike rack or whatever the case might be. Obviously, amateur is preferred because we can communicate with you guys. We have needs for rovers. Rovers is you don't carry a bicycle or a bicyclist. You just ride the routes that are assigned to you and your eyes and ears for the route, and you report what you see. If you see a rider in distress, you stay with that rider till we get somebody there to help them, you know, a SAG or medical or wherever the case might be. Rest stop operators, if you work with my events I've done in the past, I'm very big on beefing up how many people we have at rest stops or on the roads. The reason for that is it never fails. There's always somebody that can't come to the event, the day of the event, okay? I like to make sure we have enough coverage at all the rest stops, enough vehicles on the road to make sure that all the riders come back safely by the time and they complete the route that they choose to do. There's no telling what routes anybody goes on. It's what they want to do. So they might going out or plan on doing 101 mile, but because of winds or weather, they might end up doing the 63. Okay. Pretty much they just make a U-turn earlier in the route. And then of course, this year we don't need supply trucks operators. We're actually, the supply trucks are going to have 2 people on board already. So there's not going to be room for a ham radio operator. We will use another method of communications with them. So we can communicate with the rest or the supply trucks. So if you're interested in helping us out with this, even if you've never done an event before, it's fine because we can always put you with somebody that has done it before. And that way you can learn how it's done. Okay. We're not going to just stick you out there and amongst the wolves and say, hey, spin for yourself. Okay. That's not going to happen. So whether you want to do rest stops or want to be in a SAG vehicle, even a second person in a SAG vehicle is helpful to the driver because now the driver can concentrate more on driving than worry about radio communications. You could be the radio operator and still learn. Okay. So we can tag you up with somebody that has room for you in their vehicle. And of course, rest stops, there's plenty of room. It's a fun event. We have a lot of fun with it. It does start early in the morning. Pretty much everybody's got to be on site between 6:30 in the morning. And I think some of the rest stops may be closer to 8:15, depending on when they open and stuff. And then as soon as that last rider, it goes past your rest stop is closed. Okay. And you're free to go. Once, you know, everybody gets packed up and then you're free to go for the rest of the day. During the event, as riders come across the finish line and there's less riders out on the routes, we start releasing SAGs and we start releasing rovers. We don't need all the vehicles on the road anymore. But there is a few of you that end up being out there the entire day. We have to stay out there until the last rider comes across the finish line. I have a strong belief in not leaving any rider out there unattended. I don't care if the ride organizers are sitting there saying, yo, pull your people, we're done. If they're out there, they're out there. Nope, that's not going to happen. We're going to be out there. These people are spending their time of their day raising funds for the organization. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that they come back safely. So we'll have a Zoom meeting with everybody on next Thursday night at 7:30. We usually have an in-person meeting, but because our EOC here in Orange County is being remodeled right now, where I normally have it because I got a lot better audio-visual equipment there, we're just going to do it on Zoom on Thursday night this time and be done with it and stuff. So we'll go over everything about the ride, the routes. If you have questions, we'll make sure your questions are all answered before you end the Zoom meeting that day. So if anybody's interested, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to get you signed up and or tell you how to do it. And so we can get you on board because we do this every single year, usually around the last Sunday of the month, okay? Of March, month of March. Unless for some reason it changes. All right, so at the, at Hamcation this year, at the chairman's dinner, awards dinner, we, Orlando Amateur Radio Club was presented with the 75 years of being an ARL affiliated club, plaque, okay? Excuse me. February the 25th, 1948, Orlando Amateur Radio Club became affiliated, an affiliate club with the ARRL. So, hard to believe it's been 75 years. Of course, I haven't been around that long. Bob hasn't been a member of OARC that long, but Bob's been around for a while. But it was a nice little surprise. So this is for the club, by the way. So congratulations to OARC. All right. Let me go around to the board members, see if they have any announcements, then we'll do our club updates. After that, we'll take our break, and afterwards, Mike will do a presentation on Hamcation 2023. And that'll officially wrap up what you'll hear about Hamcation 2023. But don't worry, 2024 is less than a year away, okay? And we're looking for volunteers already. All right, Michael, did you have anything board related?
All right. All right, I did promise somebody something at the Christmas dinner if he passed his tech exam. So Grayson, congratulations. Here's your radio.
Now you get to have fun programming it. That's when you go, Dad. All right, Anna, Dean, did you have anything?
Don't have anything, but congratulations, Grayson. You have anything?
Nothing for me either. Congratulations.
Awesome. Let's see, Bobbin.
That's good luck. Yeah, I'm having my final eye surgery on the 4th of April. The next night is the meeting. I'm going to be off work for a week, just recovering. We'll see about me getting here to vote us back into the office thing.
That's right. Yeah, we'll figure that part out. All right, Bob C, anything? Ed? James? Frank G's not here. Frank T? You want a microphone? Appreciate that. All right, let's go around to the clubs real quick. QCWA, anybody from QCWA? Oh, comes Ed. President of Vice.
I'm Ed Thralls, NE4H, and I'm the Vice President of QCWA. It is the Peter chapter, chapter 45, and we meet the second Thursday of every month at 1 o'clock at the Perkins Restaurant, about a block east of HRO. So either go to HRO before you come to the meetings and show us your new goodies, or after the meeting, go down to HRO and buy some goodies to take home with you. That's all I have. Sorry, Sunday, every other month on a fourth Sunday, usually we have a gathering around 1 o'clock for a luncheon. Kind of fun at the New Peking buffet, but this month, the fourth Sunday happens to fall on the weekend. You've got the Tour de Cure, and so it's going to be this Sunday at 1 o'clock, and anybody wants to join us is welcome. You don't have to be a member of QCWA. It's on fourth, see, it's off of 436 and 1792. It's north of 436, just on 1792. As soon as you get past the overpass, take a left.
Okay, anybody from Lamar's? James?
Hi, I'm Jim Robar, KB2COX, Vice President at Lamar's. April 6th, yes, April 6th on Thursday, we'll have our next meeting. And we have, where did Ed go? Ed's going out the door already, but Ed's gonna do our program on phased vertical antennas. And Ed did this for QCWA here a couple months back, and it's really, really interesting. So I hope everybody can join. We're on Edgemont in Winter Springs, right off of 434. We're like one block west of the police station, just to give you an idea. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody from CERT? Not seeing anybody. Radio scouting. I know Ken's here. Oh, there he is. Come on over here.
You pick up any one of them. Okay, there we go. So we have our project this weekend. We've got a grant last year for $8,000 to add solar to our mobile mast trailer. So we have 2 kilowatts of solar power and let's see, 900 times 2 be 1,800 amp hours of battery power, because it's in a 24-volt grid on there. Our next event is the 25th of March, which I think is the day before the Tour de Cure. So if anybody would like to explain to scouts and do a career day, we have 200 to 300 scouts that want to learn about different radio careers and different careers in general. So if you were a pilot, MCOMs, anything that involved radio, and you'd like to tell the scouts and world what you did and why they might want that field in their future line of work, we invite you to come out. So contact me later for that. That's it. We're back to our monthly schedules, and hopefully we have a lot more scouts coming.
Excellent. All right. Excuse me, grab my throat. CFRA.
I am Bob Nocero, W4KBW is my call. I'm the president of the Central Florida Repeater Association, which meets on the last Wednesday of each month at Perkins in Winter Park, not up there on the corner of Forsyth and University. We get there about 6 o'clock. We have a little rag chew. 7 o'clock, we'll have a small impromptu meeting. Go out and rag chew a little more. Members are about 20 members. It's not a big club at all. The repeater is at the corner of Colonial and I-4. It's 443075 with the standard 1035 PL. It's open. It's Yaesu Fusion and analog, so use it.
All right, anybody, Rod Bahia or Shriners? Nope. Florida Week signal, anything? Yep, he's coming up.
I don't have anything. No, I'm just kidding. The beacons have been off for a couple of weeks, but they're going to be back on tomorrow. The new beacon will be on their 5 gig beacon. If you check with flaws.net, you can find out what frequencies they're on. But anyway, that one's going to be back on. Let me go through the ones we got. We've had them down. We're going to make some changes on being able to control them remotely. The 2 meter will be on. The 222, the 432, the 222, the 902, the 1296, the 5 gig, and the 10 gig. So we got lots of representation going on those. So we're trying to get you interested in microwaves. There's some activity. The next thing that's going to come up with our group is there's going to be a meeting on May the 13th. That's a Saturday. It'll be at my house. You can get with me if you want to get some information on how to get there. But it starts at about 10 o'clock and it goes on past lunch, and lunch will be served. So if you're interested in lunch and you're not interested in microwave, you can show up for that.
What are you serving?
Lunch will be done in a microwave.
All right, AMSAT. Anybody have AMSAT news? All right, Deers, Lara, Lake Amateur Radio, Seminole Aries. There he is. Looking behind Harry, I'm like, where'd he go? He was just sitting there.
Up here. My name's Frank Tagliani. I'm KD4EGW, the president of Seminole Aries this year. Our meeting is this Thursday, which is the third Thursday of the month at 100 Esslinger Way in Seminole County. We're starting a new training cycle, so if you haven't taken your ICS classes in the last 2 to 3 years, it's a good time to renew all your certifications. We have a certified trainer who's going to be joining the club and starting in April. This week, our meeting is going to be an introduction to training, so if you're interested, come by. The meeting's at 7:30. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Anybody from Osceola Aries? All right, last but not least, Orange County Aries, we meet the second Thursday of the month at the Orange County EOC, but in the media room. It's a smaller room, not a lot of electronics and gadgets and toys. But that's where we're meeting at. And if that room is not available, we'll do Zoom. So if you're interested and you're not a member, join us or send me an email and I'll make sure you get included on the email that goes out when it's definitely finalized where the meeting is going to be at. So you can join us and stuff. If you're interested in application, see Rick. Rick has applications also for Orange County Aries and stuff. 27th of this month? Oh, yeah. At the EOC or Osceola EOC? Okay. On 27th is Osceola County Aries. All right. Before we go to break, I do want to get a picture of Grayson and Nick and his radio with Michael. So after that, we'll go ahead and start the break. We'll take the picture real quick. We'll come back here at, we'll say 20 after 8, and we'll go into our presentation. All right, before we get started, does everybody have the blue ticket for drawings? For the drawings tonight, we have a extra class software and book education package, a package of connectors, assorted connectors. We have a antenna, a diamond antenna, mobile antenna. We have 2 FM radio kits, if you like to put one together, and an HF digital ARRL book. So we have quite a bit of stuff. So. So earlier at the beginning of the meeting, kind of hinted on something that happened earlier this month. One of our board members decided to get married. Frank. So many congrats to Frank and Sharon on many more years to go. How long now? It's been 2 weeks? Oh, week and a half? So. And he's, well, I was gonna say, he can't pull any hair, he can't pull any hair out, or you can't pull any of his hair out. So he's already taken care of that for you. So many congrats to you guys. Congratulations. All right, Michael, you about ready? So hopefully I'm not taking anything away from what he's going to talk about. So while he's setting up, how many of you guys were at Hamcation? How many missed it? How many knew? I saw that. Well, yeah, okay, but you were there. You might have been in one building the entire time, but you were there, other than when you went to the restroom. So, how many didn't know about it? How many doesn't know anything about Hamcation? Okay, well, we just got some people pretty much know about Hamcation. All right, you ready?
Yeah. All right. First up, couple things here. It just worked. All right. All right, change the slide. I'll just do this. Apparently it ain't working over there either. All right. First up, we did have a silent queue this year. Part of the committee, Ray Richard, W4 RPR. He did pass away, complications. He was fighting leg issues, foot issues for a while, and he did pass away in January. So he was our advanced ticket chairman. Next slide. Yeah, you went way too fast. Is it working now? Let's try. All right, next one. Some of y'all might not know this individual. He just passed away actually Saturday morning. Ron Kramer, KDA E&J. He was actually the vice president of Dayton Amateur Radio Association. This photo was actually at the awards dinner here this year at Hamcation. He was here. He is also a past Hamcation chairman, or a Hamvention chairman. So he just passed away, from, I believe it was a heart attack, heart issue. Yeah. So, all right. First up, I would like to thank all the volunteers. How many here actually volunteered for Hamcation? Okay, thank you. The ones that you didn't, hopefully we'll see you next year. Like I always said, without the volunteers, Hamcation would not happen. Going through some of the pictures here, of course, Frank, doing security stuff. This was actually Peter and one of our international relations teams. I'm sorry, Liddy. Wow, it's been a long day. The other half of Peter. This is part of our international relations team. They actually come over, both of them, actually 4 of them come over from the Netherlands. So they manned our international relations booth this year. Big hand out to Anna and her granddaughters for coming out. They were actually going around helping the vendors, giving them water, stuff like that. And then Jim's there, Tony, which was a past assistant chair for security, and Julie, which was actually a past chairman of transportation. So they were volunteering this year also. Some of the volunteers out in RV tent, and of course Jerry there helping commercial at the commercial check-in booth. Some more volunteers, Donna, Jim's wife, and I believe that's Ed behind them? No. Somebody's standing behind them. And then Rob and Andy sitting there eating some lunch. Yeah. Andy actually stepped up. He has joined our committee. He is actually going to take the position of advanced ticket chairman. We welcome him aboard on the Hamcation committee. All right, so on Wednesday, commercial officially open to vendors, so they could start coming in, setting up on Wednesday. So this is actually Rick, the sign man. Everybody that has an OARC name badge, a lot of almost probably 90% of your name badges in here, he makes them for somebody. So then of course also RV is open for business. They are starting to bring them in, getting them off of State Road 50 out there Wednesday morning. We had lots of RVs. We had lots of RVs this year. It wasn't a record, but I believe we ended with just under 200, somewhere in that range. 186. So 186 RVs this year. So, and of course, the Swaps building, I can tell you, Jim told me that Swaps sold out, people left, and he resold it out again. So he resold booths or tables that people actually sold everything on Friday. And to his recollection, this is the first year it actually sold out like that. So, which is good. And this was Friday morning, and I don't know how to spell. This is what happens when you do something at midnight. So this was Friday morning, the South Ticket booth, the line stretched almost out to State Road 50, down the sidewalk there to get in. And then this was the other side at the east gate, Friday when the doors opened. And of course, anybody that got their ticket could go over to the Boy Scout Troop 76 for laminating tickets. So they did pretty good this year. I think they actually probably did better than they did last year based on how many lanyards we had left. Huh?
I just want to sit there and say, the Boy Scouts, the first year they started this was year of 2020 is when we introduced them doing it. Was the first year they probably did about half the amount that they did this year. Of course, 2021, we didn't have a show. 2022 came back. They was almost what they did in 2020. This year surpassed it big time. So, for what, if anybody doesn't know, what we do is Hamcation purchases the lanyards, gives them to the Boy Scouts as a fundraiser. So they charge $5 for the lanyard, you get your ticket laminated, and all that money goes to the Boy Scout troop for all their activities throughout the year. At the end, whatever lanyards they haven't sold, we take back, and we give them out the rest of the year.
And I can tell you in 2020, this funded a trip to somewhere for them. I forget where it was at, but they actually went out of the state for a trip. And is that what it was? Okay, so it actually funded the whole troop to go there. So, which is good. I'm sorry, what? Mr. and Mrs. Oh, you're talking about Gordon. Huh? Yeah, that's Frank, but that's not Sharon sitting next to him.
Ooh. Rumors are already starting.
So, our security crew hard at work. Manning the doors, riding around in the golf cart, checking things out. Jump starting cars. So, a full prize barrel. So they were busy over there in the prize booth giving out prizes this year. This is probably one of the few years that we got some very good prizes donated this year, which was good. Yes, excellent grand prizes, exactly. And even last moment within the last month before Hamcation, Yezu stepped up and donated 10 of their FT5Ds or however what they are. Which was nice also addition to it. The North Hall, busy as usual, really crowded in there, a lot of people going in and out. Then tailgaters was down a little bit this year. I just think it was due to the uncertainty of the weather. It seemed like every day they were going to say it was going to rain. We were fortunate this year. All the rain happened in the overnight time. So it actually never rained during our show, which was good. But I do think that's what kind of hurt tailgate, and that's probably what helped swaps out to sell out. Everybody wanted to go inside because of the uncertainty of the rain. But during the day, it was beautiful. Good temperature, not too hot, so it was nice. Swaps again, totally full. And I can actually say this year was the first year I actually walked the whole swaps building, every aisle, and looked, which was the first time since I've been chairman I was able to do that. And huh? Not in swaps, no. So, no. Well, yeah, I did. I bought the Chromebook for the presentation out in forums. So, but yeah, other than that, no. I go to other Hamfests to buy stuff for some reason. Figure that one out. I don't have time to really shop. So, this year we did do something a little different. We didn't have 4 tents for forums this year. We only had 2, which you see in the picture to the left. And then we tried an outdoor open air pavilion type of setup for forums also, which was actually a real success. And almost all the forums this year, I think, was 75% full or more. So it seemed like more people, a little less forums, more people went into the ones that we did have, which was good. So Yeah, I know there was one of them that I come to, I don't think it was this one, but one time when I went out there for the open air one, it was standing room only and it was probably 15, 20 people standing. Or moon bounce, yeah, that was it. So he was popular apparently, so it would have never actually fit inside one of the tents, so it was a good thing to have the outside one. Carol Perry's forum was full also, and I believe the Boy Scouts went out there during it also, which really helped. So I can tell you that she does stay in contact with us, and she does let us know from people she met here. They call her afterwards. She stays in contact with them. She lets us know when they're calling her to set up different stuff at different schools, stuff like that. So more than anything for her, it's networking for the show, and people just get her contact information. She does a lot of stuff between here and Hamvention, Huntsville. She does all these shows and just tries to get more youth involved. This year, the ARL had a little smaller booth area this year, but they stayed busy. I know Rick and them over there was constantly talking to people. So and a couple things, we did have some chairmen step down this year after Hamcation. One of them I would like to thank Dean Grove, KD4TWJ, for his many years as the IT chairman. Unfortunately, due to work requirements, just him not having the time anymore, he has stepped back from the committee. He's still going to help advise them, stuff like that. And he will be volunteering during Hamcation as a volunteer. But if everybody would give him a round of applause for the many years he's done. The other one is actually Frank Gergitz, KC9G&Q. He is also stepping down as the on-site ticket chairman, and his is also due to work. New job, been really busy, shorthanded, stuff like that. So he just wants to give full time to Hamcation. He's just not able to do it. So he has stepped down also. So if anybody's interested in any of these, please let me know. They are available. And the last one is Rich Wilson, WR4RW. He was for many years the RV chairman, and this year took the responsibility as the RV/tailgate chairman. And he has stepped down from the committee, but he is going to stay on in some capacity. I'm not sure yet what. And his was due to medical issues. A lot of y'all in here probably knows what happened to him. He said I could speak about it, so he did have a stroke during Hamcation. But he's doing better. He's recovering. He just has to get rid of stress out of his life, and one of those stress things was Hamcation. And I understand. So it is very stressful, especially when you are a chairman like that and over a large area like RV tailgate area. But he has stepped down. Just like I said, he will be staying on in some capacity on the committee, doing stuff for us. Okay. Again, thank him. Thank everybody. And just like I said, a couple of these positions are open. So if anybody's interested, especially the one that's probably most open would be the on-site ticket chairman. If anybody is interested, please see me. I can give you more details of what's involved in it. The on-site ticket chairman is pretty much leading up to Hamcation. There's not really much to do. It's more all at the show other than scheduling volunteers. Let me ask this. Any questions about Hamcation, concerns, issues? Anything like that? Anybody heard? Want to share? So.
Hey, I'm Joe, KQ4AID. I made it out Wednesday to volunteer. And on the Wednesday, they actually had a kit building class. So if you've never participated in it, I would suggest you try and do it. It was a lot of fun. I actually learned how to successfully solder, and we made a sound oscillator for learning CW.
Joe Eisenberg come out and did the kit build. He's done it for several years now for us. Actually, speaking of it, a couple of the prizes tonight are actually the kids. Or last year's kits, actually. These are last year's. We still have some of this year's too, just we're trying to get rid of last year's yet. Usually Wednesday night, we do it in the swaps building. Keep an eye on the website when it does go live in August. We will have info up there to how to sign up for the kit build. So it's usually limited to about 20 to 25 people just because it's hard to get a whole bunch in there to do a kit build. But it is a lot of fun. So please check that out. Any other questions? Anything about Hamcation? Rick? I'm not there yet. So at least one, me. Again, let me thank all the volunteers. I don't say this enough. Without the volunteers, Hamcation would not happen. On the committee, there's about 35 of us on the committee, but it takes several hundred volunteers to do the job. The other question I know is going to come up, we're still processing everything for bills coming in. So the donation checks will be delayed by a little bit, but we will be getting them out once we get everything calculated. Question. John just asked, not you. He just asked, anybody have any guesses of how many people was at Hamcation? Lower. I wish. Close. Lower. So.
But let's go back for just a second, just to put a little more suspense in this. Does anybody remember what our numbers were in 2020? This is exactly right before COVID hit, which was our record year. Close, 24,300. Okay, so that was in 2020. 2021, we just did a virtual event. 2022, we came back. Does anybody remember what it was last year? It was not as big as it was in 2020. 19,300 or 700, something like that. All right, so 2020, big year, 24,000, almost 25,000. Okay, 2022, we took a hit. We knew we were going to take a hit because people weren't afraid or were not willing to come out to big parties or big amounts of people. So we took a 20% hit on attendance. And we knew that. The smaller hamfests around the country were reporting the same, about 20 to 30% in hit in attendance and stuff. So
and I can tell you also in 2020 was a record year for us. So that was our record of how many people come to the show.
All right.
All right. So for 2023, it was 21,830. So by numbers, this is actually our third largest Hamcation. 2020 was the largest. 2019 was second largest, and this was actually our third largest. 2019, I think, was only about 1,000 more than this, so it wasn't that far off being number two. But the good thing is we are the first Hamfest of pretty much the season, the Hamfest season for this year. So if these numbers stay true, people are going back out, the Hamfest should start growing again. See what happens with them.
There's a lot of variables of probably why that number is lower or hadn't not reached the 2020 numbers again. One is obviously fuel pricing. RVs were less this year. If anybody's ever had an RV, especially ones you drive instead of pull, you realize that those things are the fuel, the diesel, the gasoline, or where it runs off of. So, and fuel prices are, you don't know, you know what fuel prices are high. Second thing is economy. Okay. Well, there's uncertainty in the economy. People kind of retain that money. They don't travel and they don't buy a lot of things and stuff. So that has a lot to do with it. The last thing that really has effect on us, but it's more of a local effect, is the weather. Here in Florida, we have been blessed a lot for the past 7 years or so, I guess it's been, that Hamcation weekend, we've had great weather. Okay. I remember a Hamcation back when being the tailgate chairman still, Friday and Saturday, it did nothing but rained all weekend.
And
okay?
cold.
And cold. Sunday was a beautiful day. Okay. Absolutely beautiful day. But the funny thing about that, and it's a little story, tailgate that weekend, there was a lot of vendors who sat there and said, even with the rain, they had a record year in sales. It all depends on what you have to sell and if people are looking to buy it. Okay. And if you're willing to get out there and sell it under a tent, blankets, or bisqueen, or whatever the case might be. So those are a lot of the things that do affect us. But, you know, it's like Michael said, I think over time, the numbers will come back, rebound nicely. Of course, we would love to have a record year again this year. But, you know, we're not into inflating numbers. We bring you the accurate numbers and stuff. Because we could sit there and say we had a record year and had 25,000, but you know, you can tell it wasn't there either. I mean, anybody that's been around the Hamcation a long time can sit there and say it wasn't quite as packed as we've seen it in the past. So, you know, we're not going to sit there and give out false information. George, I know you had your hand up. And you want to know something funny? You talk about you went there for the food jokingly. Okay. That is one of the things that is talked about on social media a lot at different Hamfests is the quality of food that is served. Okay. And prices, we took a hit last year. There was a vendor there that was selling hamburgers, French fries, and a Coke. I think it was like $22 or $23. And the problem was they didn't even have a sign that sat there and said that they were selling it for. So when you walked up and say, "Hey, I'll take a hamburger, fries, and a Coke," all of a sudden, okay, it's $22. People were like shocked, and most people paid it because, hey, I just ordered it, and some other people didn't. And of course, with social media today, bad news flies fast. Okay. One person made a comment on our Facebook page, and there was exactly 155 comments on that one comment about the food pricing and stuff. It was all negative. Okay. And that flew fast. And I'll be honest with you, we took that information to the caterers this year. Actually, right after it happened, I screenshot 155 comments and sent it to the president of the company that does the catering, and sat there and told them, this is unacceptable because of one vendor. That's, you know, negativity breeds negativity, and that flows like wildfire and stuff. It spreads like crazy and stuff. They reacted to it exactly the way how we wanted them to react, or hope they would react. It took care of the problem, and this year there was no issues.
Yeah. And I could probably say, just on a behind the scenes note, that because of that issue, this was probably the best working relationship we've ever had with the caterers here at the fairgrounds. They've actually stepped up, like George said, even outside this year, they actually stepped up with an app for our vendors. And they were actually sending around basically waitresses and waiters to take orders from vendors, so they didn't have to leave their booth, and delivering the food to them this year. And that could have been what also helped outside, because there wasn't 500 vendors running to the food lines either, so, which helps also. But they definitely stepped up this year and made a huge difference of quality and what they do. The prices were up. Everybody knows prices are up, but it was more reasonable of what you're getting based on the prices compared to last year. So,
I mean, talk about prices up. Everybody knows price of eggs skyrocketed this year, okay? We joke amongst ourselves all the time, and I've said this many times to our committee members, who would ever imagine the day to have steak and eggs for breakfast, that eggs would outprice steak, okay? Whoever thought that day would ever come around, and it did this year, okay? But hindsight is, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, ideas, or whatever, please do not hesitate to let Michael know. We can only make it better if we know there's a problem, okay? If you say, well, it's not worth me telling, it is worth you telling us the problem, okay? I can't say for sure we're gonna react on every single suggestion that we get, because some things are not possible, some things are. But if we don't know about something, we can't make changes, okay? So as a committee, you know, there's 36 people on our committee, 35, 36 people on our committee. And it's a brainstorming session. You know, Michael just had a wrap-up meeting this past Saturday with the committee. Let's talk about what happened, okay? Give us a report. And then he's gonna have other meetings with different individuals to what can we do to improve it for next year? Because we can't make improvements if we don't know about it, okay? Same thing with you guys, same thing with anybody. You know, don't hesitate to send an email or give us a call or something.
and one thing I will reveal that's in the works for next year, something that we haven't did in many years, but working with some local government, people that work at local government here in Central Florida, we are going to be working on getting a area set up for emergency communications, emergency vehicles, either club or local government stuff. So they showed an interest in bringing out some of their stuff for next year. And with their contacts with other areas in this area, we're going to try to see if they can get with other government agencies to get them to bring out their emergency vehicles, comm vehicles, stuff like that. So that is in the works for next year. So it'll be something we haven't had in a very long time. Actually tried to get stuff like this here. So next year, look forward to that. And I know it's on everybody's question, the dates for 2024. So you can put in for your vacation now, so y'all can volunteer all 5 days. So it'll be February 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2024. Any other questions, George?
Yeah.
I don't know about the same, but it's the same. Good, good. And we'll let ARL know that. The app is actually a collaboration between ARL, Orlando Hamcation, and actually Hamvention. All three of us paid equally to have the app done. So every year we pay for the app also. So it's actually for our our two shows in ARL. I do know they made some improvements. They're going to look at making some improvements for next year also on it. But a lot of people use the app, and that's the biggest thing like that, meeting people. If you put your profile public on there, anybody can see it and people will meet you. All the prize drawings every hour was listed on there. All the forms were on there. All the vendors, you click onto a vendor, it would show a pinpoint of right where the vendor was. So you can find it. Oh yeah. It wouldn't take it. Okay. Okay. Shoot me an email, let me know that, and I'll forward it up to ARL for the app builders. It could be something in the future they can fix, because with today's phones, almost every phone will do 30, 40 megapixels now. So
yeah. Yeah, two people.
Oh, the actual app? That might be a hard one because of all the information that's in there. Because we sent them lots of information. So, Bob.
One of the things that, one of the comments we got from a couple of the vendors is that they count not so much how much they sell at Hamcation, but how much revenue they generate from people that come back. So if you buy something from one of our vendors that was at Hamcation, thank them for being at Hamcation. And it's that, and along that, two of our big vendors, Gigaparts and HRO, did very well at Hamcation. I know Gigaparts said he did better on Friday than they had done at any other show, I think, recently. And HRO told me when I went to the store about a week after Hamcation, it was their second largest Hamcation ever. So vendors did very well. So again, if you buy something from one of the vendors that's at Hamcation or either online or whatever, thank them for being at Hamcation.
Rick. Somebody over here had a question. Oh, okay, okay.
Did James have one? Did you have one, James?
No.
Okay, I saw your hand.
And like Bob said, even with the numbers down, if vendors do good, even they could be 1,000 people. If a vendor does good, they will come back next year. And that's what vendors look at more than anything. It's not the numbers. You can have 100,000 people come through here. And if people aren't spending money, the vendors will not return, because that's what they look at is the revenue that they put out to come here. Some of these vendors spends tens of thousands of dollars for employees, travel, shipping product in, all this stuff to come to the show, hotels, stuff like that. So that's one thing is good for us when we hear all these vendors say, we did good. That's what we want to hear also. The vendors did good. Nick. It could be a connection too of what you're doing, especially if you're out here on the Wi-Fi or something out. Really? So just like I said, shoot me an email just so I have it, and do this email what phone you have, and then I'll send it up there and say, hey, we're hearing that this is having issues. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, Paul. And this year we did up the amount of golf carts we have. So we did have more golf carts running. So. Okay. So yeah, so thank you. And these are things we need to hear because one, we're fixing issues that we've had in the past. And like John said, no question, comment is too small. Please let me know. And even if you think it's really bad, please let me know because we do need to know about it to fix it. Without the comments, Hamcation won't get better. And that's what I rely on every year is what volunteers tell me, vendors tell me, visitors tell me, all that. So there's no other questions. That's all I had. And again, thank everybody for a successful Hamcation.
Yeah, mark your calendars now. The dates are there. It's always the second weekend of February, okay? So it's always the second weekend, and so go ahead and mark your calendars for a couple years out. Save that weekend. Okay, couple real quick things. One, we're gonna get ready to do the drawings. All right, before we do the drawings, your final chance for nominations. If you have exactly 30 seconds to get over there to tell Bob if you want to run for an office or a director's position. If you don't, we're gonna shut it down. So 15 seconds. We can wrap this up and everybody can go home. We'll just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're done. Nominations are now closed. All right, let me go to our drawings. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 6 prizes up here. It's your choice, what you want. Okay. Unfortunately, the last person that has won something doesn't have much of a choice. All right. But there's quite a few things. Again, there's a HF digital book from ARRL. There's an antenna, a couple kits, connectors, and then of course, extra class software and book education package. And where did you go? You saw her? Right. Somebody donated it. Oh, yes. Nando donated that. It is, has not been open or never used, but it is good through it's good through June 30th of next year. So you still have time if you're interested in doing extra. All right. First ticket is last four numbers 6, 6, 3, 5. Come on up, Gil. While Gil's coming up, I'm going to draw the next one, just to help keep things rolling. It's your choice, whatever those items are right there, except for the remote control. Yeah. There we go. All right. Okay. This is a hard one, guys. Last four numbers 6, 6, 6, 6. Come on up. Your choice. Any of those prizes right there. And the paperwork that's underneath the box for the kits goes with it. It's your directions, by the way. So it's a 2-meter. It's actually a tri-band. Yep. 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 Excellent. Thank you. All right. Next number 6, 6, 4, 2. 6642. David? Well, David's picking that what one he liked to get. Extra. It's going for the extra, folks. He's going for the extra. That's good for you're good. All right. Next one. 6, 6, 2, 8. Harry. There's 2 kits and an HF digital book. You're not going to do soldering? All right. Next one. 6, 6, 6, 1. Frank. All right, Frank. Last one. 6, 6, 2, 2. 6, 2, 2. Last 3 numbers. Go that way. James. All right, guys. Our next meeting is on April the 5th here at the Central Florida Fairgrounds. Anthony Luscre, I think he's done presentations for us before. K8ZT is doing successful operating, accessing effectiveness of your station. Should be a good presentation. you've been having problems with your station, might be a good learning experience for you guys. All right, guys, drive safely. Appreciate it very much. See you next month. Only a couple weeks away.